the Tablighi event led to the spread of the coronavirus among many. This is what the government has said today in Parliament. A huge gathering of the Islamic sect Tablighi Jamaat in March in Delhi, despite orders issued by various authorities after the outbreak of the coronavirus, also led to the spread of the virus among many persons. This is what the government has informed Parliament while it was answering, or rather replying to a question. Hundreds of people, both foreigners and locals, were tested positive for the coronavirus after they had either attended the religious gathering organized by the Tablighi Jamaat at a mosque in Delhi's Nizamuddin locality in March, or had come in contact with the followers of the sect. The Home Ministry, like I said, was responding to a question from a Shiv Sena Member of Parliament, Anil Desai, who asked the government to specify whether the spread of the coronavirus in Delhi and other states was due to the assembly of people for the gathering. The Sena MP also sought details of the number of people who attended the gathering and the number of people who've been arrested so far. The Home Ministry has clarified data and said that there were 2,361 persons of the Tablighi Jamaat who were evacuated, and additionally 233 people who were arrested. The big question, of course, is that the government seems to have precise and exact data on the Tablighi Jamaat event, but doesn't seem to have data right now on either migrant deaths, deaths of COVID warriors, student suicide, the number of plasma banks, or job losses in the automobile sector. These are all questions that have been asked to the government in Parliament, and they said they have no reply. Let's go across to my colleague Neeta Sharma, who's been tracking the details of this story. Neeta, very interesting what the government has said in Parliament today. The government, in a certain sense, has said that the Tablighi event led to the spread of coronavirus among many.
Yes, Rishika, while replying to Rajya Sabha, the Minister of State, Mr. Reddy, he categorically, mentioned that as reported by Delhi Police, despite guidelines and orders issued by various authorities in pursuance of outbreak of COVID-19, a huge gathering assembled inside closed premise over a protracted period of time without any semblance of social distancing and provision of masks and sanitizers. This caused spread of coronavirus infection amongst many persons. So this is a very categorical reply which the Ministry of Home Affairs has given to Rajya Sabha, admitting that initially, among many other causes which were listed by the government, even Tablighi Jamaat members were also responsible for the spread of coronavirus.
But it's also very interesting, Neeta, it's also very interesting that the government has said this, because there are several courts, including the Aurangabad bench of the Bombay High Court. They have in the past quashed FIRs against the Tablighi Jamaat members and absolved them of charges of spreading the coronavirus.
Absolutely, but the government's reply to that question is it's a individual case. Individual cases are being dealt by individual courts differently. As far as Delhi cases are concerned, in Nizamuddin, initially a case was registered against the chief of Nizamuddin Markaz. Then, following that, 2,361 persons of Jamaat were evacuated and about 223 cases were registered.
Yes.
So government says that individual cases have individual remarks by individual courts. And whenever a court had remarked anything, obviously, that kind of a reprieve has been given to that individual. But these people, mostly foreigners, who were visiting India on a tourist visa, but they were violating visa norms and
yes.
were, here doing religious, they were, attending religious congregations, which is clearly a violation of visa rules. So, as per law, different cases have been registered in different police stations.
Right.
Against Tablighi Jamaat members.
But it's interesting because the question was very clearly whether, they are to be blamed for the spread of the coronavirus, to which the government has answered in the affirmative. Of course, words like they are also to be blamed and they led to the spread of coronavirus among many. Those are interesting words that have been used. Appreciate you, Neeta, for joining us with the details of the story. We also have Shadaan Farasat, who is an advocate of the Supreme Court, and Deshratan Nigam, political analyst and an advocate whose views lean towards the BJP, both joining us on the broadcast at the moment. Thank you both very much for being with us. Shadaan Farasat, if I can begin by asking you, what do you make of what the government has said in Parliament today, of course, with very specific data, responding to a question that was asked by a Member of Parliament?
See, I think the government response is an attempt at some level to, not take responsibility for its own handling of the pandemic. And I think we are now, it's not March or April, we are now in September. I think it's time the government takes responsibility. It's completely preposterous to blame the nature and the extent of the pandemic directly or indirectly on one group. Of course, when the incident happened in early March, that time, a lot of them got stuck at the place where they were when the lockdown came in. So even in public knowledge, forget the Tablighi Jamaat, even among general public or anybody, the knowledge of COVID was very limited because it was something completely new. So, it's another, also one thing about Tablighi Jamaat as a group is that they broadly interact with people amongst themselves. Of course, if they are going out in public and large, they can spread, unknowingly to anybody. But the maximum damage they have done, if in terms of health, is to their own friends and family,
right?
And not to anybody else. So I think it's very, very,
well,
wrong
I don't
for
think
the
that
government.
negates the damage that is done, but you do have a fair point that this was at the very beginning of the pandemic. The seriousness of the pandemic at that moment, wasn't understood by many because we hadn't faced the countrywide lockdown. Deshratha Nigam, respond to the allegation that the government seems to be lacking data on very crucial issues like migrant deaths, the deaths of our COVID warriors, healthcare workers, doctors, some very crucial data on job losses, etc. that's missing. But there is very specific information as far as the Tablighi Jamaat is concerned. Is this, is this selective memory?
No, the question, he was answering to a question, written question, and written question was very specific about it. And if you recall, in fact, your NDTV's website also still says in April, I think it was 4th April news item on your website, which clearly said 1/3 of the COVID cases in India is on account of Tablighi Jamaat
Back
members.
in April, that
April.
doesn't hold true in September.
No, certainly this is not about September.
Yes.
What the minister was saying was the initial spread.
Okay.
The initial spread that he was talking about was on account of the Tablighi Jamaat members,
right,
and especially the foreigners who had come from Malaysia, who had earlier attended an event in China. And these foreigners had come on a tourist visa and attended violating the norms and attended a religious function. And therefore, they were the ones who were responsible, and they gave it to Indian Tablighi Jamaat members.
Right.
And from there, they traveled all over India, and the cases were found out as far as in Northeast and Andaman Nicobar and Tamil Nadu and Kerala also.
Well, of course, and one did at that moment, yes, and one did at that moment cover the extent, of the spread of where people went and how contact tracing was done very aggressively back in the day. But what do you make, Deshratha Nigam, if I can just ask you a follow-up question on several courts, including the Bombay High Court, that have actually quashed FIRs against Tablighi Jamaat members, absolving them of charges of spreading the virus?
See, I have gone through closely about those cases. Those were Tablighi members not related to the attendance of meeting in Delhi.
Okay.
They were individual separate cases, and the courts in its wisdom thought that they were in their own area, they were not responsible.
Right.
So you cannot mix that.
Shadhan, do you in your legal opinion agree that what was said in the Bombay High Court in terms of absolving the Tablighi Jamaat members of spreading the coronavirus, that doesn't hold true in what the government has said in Parliament?
Not at all. I think there are cases all over the country, from UP to Delhi to Maharashtra, and a lot of them, the cases are of people who traveled from Delhi, where the courts have observed that, listen, this is not at all a case of deliberate spread or anything like that, or even an innocuous spread, and they can't be kept in custody. So I think Mr. Nigam is not accurate when he says that those cases only relate to some independent, unconnected cases. I think that's not borne out by the facts.
Deshratha Nigam, do you want to respond to that?
Yes. See, the fact is, in some cases, I can agree with my co-panelists that intention may not have been there, because in crimes, intentions are seen. But in a lot of cases, say for example in Delhi, the cases have been filed, and despite the court orders, directives, and all those precautions put in place, and if you still gather, then the intention can be inferred. And therefore, it has to be seen from individual to individual cases. One cannot make a generalized statement as my co-panelist is making.
Okay.
And initially, if you recall, all the data, in fact, I read the Al Jazeera investigative story which called Tablighi Jamaat gathering of Delhi as the biggest vector in India for
Right.
spreading coronavirus.
All right, Shadan, in the light of that, then, what Deshrata Nigam is saying is that what the Ministry of Home Affairs has said in Parliament today isn't wrong. But let's also look at the data that's not available. And I think it's important to highlight that. There's no data on the deaths of COVID warriors, on migrant deaths as a result of the exodus, on plasma banks, on job losses in the automobile sector, but very specific data that's available on the Tablighi Jamaat. I'll ask you the same question, Shadan, that I asked Deshrata Nigam. Is this selective memory?
Yeah, no, so if the government wants to maintain data of how, a certain sect gets, who got infected, I mean, they want to keep it fair enough. Let's keep that. There's no difficulty.
Right.
But there are things of fundamental nature which in our democracy we have historically recognized. Data exists for such. I mean, it's shocking, absolutely shocking that, on migrants we don't have data. On what basis if the government make submissions in the Supreme Court that if there is no migrant on the road, there is, we are taking care of, if we don't have data,
right,
as now stated in Parliament, on what basis was the government making all these submissions in the Supreme Court? So I think really they are fundamental. I think as a functioning democracy, all these aspects, we need clear data. I am sure government should have it. I am actually quite shocked that the government is saying it doesn't have it. How does one even function or begin to debate things if the government is going to start claiming there is no data? Then we are living in a black hole. There can't be any genuine, honest debate on any issue.
Deshrata Nigam, is this priorities, misplaced priorities perhaps? We're pinning the blame on a certain sect, on a certain event for the spread of coronavirus very initially. We have very specific data on the number of people who were arrested, who were evacuated, for instance, but no data on several other important parameters.
See, the fact is, as I told you, the minister was answering a specific question. So he would give data to that particular question. It was a written reply. And therefore, to say that they don't have data, if somebody had asked
written
about...
reply was sought on several other issues as well.
See, the fact is this particular question was being answered. And therefore, you got this. And in fact, so far as migrant and other data and coronavirus data is concerned, it is so diffracted. These are with the state governments. State governments have to provide to the central government. And I am not sure, I don't have that data, how many states have complied with those directions or not, whether they have given that data. It is not under the exclusive domain of the central government.
Okay.
So therefore, all these data have to be collated. I do not know the status as of now, whether the complete data is there with the central government or not. But if a specific question to that aspect is put by any member of parliament in the parliament, then the government is bound to give an answer in a very detailed form.
All right. Well, you've heard both sides of the story, Shadan Farasat and Deshrata Nigam. Thank you both very much for joining me.